game on both sides, and Noah Thorpe does a very good job with his defense. He's done that since he's been there. So I definitely would say that it's good defensive football. Offensively, there's some things that both teams could have done better, but at the end of the day, I think Montreal has a very good defense.
It's pretty quiet for a while. You get a little scared when the missed field goal was returned all the way back?
Did I get scared? I didn't get scared. I didn't like it, as much. I didn't think that 89 could return a kick or a punt like the way he did. I knew he could be a vertical threat, but, that guy's an athlete. But, of course, that's Chris Carter's son, right? So I didn't get scared, didn't like it. But I think another game that tested our team to see where we are. Are we going to be a team that quits, or are we going to be a team that finishes no matter what the score is?
Were you surprised they didn't go for 2 on the convert?
I was a little surprised on that, a little surprised right there. And hey, that's where it is sometimes. Sometimes in the heat of the game, sometimes you miss some things, but they have their own judgment.
Is Chris's kicking starting to be a concern with you or not?
Anytime guys are not getting their job done, it's a concern. I know Chris had a tough week this week. He missed a day or two of practice just because of illness or whatever. But at the same time, like we told him, like Chris, we all have something that we have to go through. So that's a part of his mental test and his mental toughness that he'll have to work on as we move forward.
What did you think about when the fans gave Taj Smith a cheer after his catch?
I didn't hear it.
Taj Smith is playing.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't hear it, but that's good. Like I said, we're all family. Rider Nation, they love their players. I love the players, so good. That's good.
Is that what you draw upon as the family stuff when the defense is doing better than the offense? These guys, you're all one unit, and it doesn't matter if one of you is better than the other?
Over the course of this year, there'll be a time when the offense will be lights out, and then the defense will need them. And I think that's what it is, like anything. Right now we're doing some things, defensively, and I feel like offensively we've come along. We had some sparks there. We just had to turn those sparks into a flame and eventually into a fire.
Once again, we're talking about John Chick after the game. How do you sum up his play once again?
You guys should just write it before the game. John Chick is a phenomenal player. And they did some things on second and long to make sure that John wasn't able to get to the quarterback, but we made some adjustments and did some things that freed him up. But his will is like no other, and those guys, they rally around him to help him get to his goal.
Is it fair to say that John is perhaps the most dominant defensive player since Cameron Wake?
I can't say that I don't know Cameron Wake personally, but he probably has the most dominant heart and most dominant mindset that I've ever met. I'll say that. His performance is showing right now is pretty good, but Charleston Hughes had just as many sacks last year. I think it's just being written about a lot.
Are you worried about John maybe going to the NFL after the year he's having?
No, I'm not really worried about that. Whether it be his age or whether him wanting to be here or, if he does, that's part of football. I always welcome those guys to advance any kind of way they want to. And if he did, then we would have to make a move to find someone just as good.
Corey, is the bottom line tonight, it doesn't matter how you win the football game. It's just we won it.
But it was a guaranteed win. Right, Murray? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how we win, and what I mean by that is, well, it does matter, but at the end of the day, it doesn't, in the scoreboard, it doesn't matter. The win's a win. There's always things that you're going to need to be able to fix, whether you win by 20 points, 30 points, or 5 points. That's a part of football, and 1 week is always different from the next.
Is there an update on Sam Hurdle?
I don't have the update. I know he didn't finish the game. I know he was dealing with illness also, but I don't know exactly what it was that didn't cause him to finish the game.
And you like what you saw to Chad Kilgore?
Yeah, well, Chad got in there and did some things. When we put him in there, we blitzed him a little bit as a change of pace, and I thought he played pretty hard. So I was pleased with him and a couple more guys.
You got a pretty favorable schedule right now, time off, whatnot. What are you going to do to sort of have this 2-week spread with pretty 2 games? What do you sort of do with that? Is it more time off for the guys, more rest time, more screen time?
No, it's really still recovering from the short week and different things like that. This is the time to get adjusted to and do some things and maybe tinker with some things there. But rest is always the key, and also getting those guys in the right frame of mind, get ready to go into the second 9.
Have you ever seen a defense play this well over the span of the last 4 games?
It's funny because I thought we didn't play well during the game, and then I looked up and I was like, hey, it's only 4 points up there. But, they moved the ball, I thought, at some points. But we're doing good. I think that each week is we're progressing, but I thought we took a step back in our tackling this week. So there's things to work on.
Are you going to stay with this Ford mess some rotation?
We'll look at it because I think a couple of those guys are nicked up there, and we'll just have to look at the roster. I have to see, who's up and who won't be up as the total configuration as guys get healthy. But whoever can run the ball effectively, we'll put them in there.
Corey, as a defensive-minded coach, how big of a smile comes in your face when you see the way this team is playing defensively?
There's a smile there for the defensive side of it, but as a head coach, I'd like us to all win by 30. That'd be easier. Those tough games, no one likes to be in those. You like to win them by a blowout, but being a defensive coach, you have to get in there and get dirty with it. So I'm pleased with the way that we're sticking them out.
I think you'll have the guys' attention, the fact that the Alouettes stayed this close and now you play the Lions, who seem to have a superior record and be much better than that.
I think, to be honest with you, and that's no knock to those guys. When you play in a team that's had as much struggle as they have had and different things like that, and that your record's better than theirs, I don't care what league you're in, what you play, that's always a mindset. And it's kind of hard to play that game because the first thing coming to your mind is we're going to blow them out. And then when you don't do that and the game gets tight, that's where losses come in at. And as far as moving on to the next opponent, we move on to the next opponent because each game is different, and you can see that.
4 in a row now. Looking back to that bye week, how big was that for your entire team to get away and to regroup and come back ready to play?
I thought the bye week did us tremendous. It was the first year that we came after the bye and we won a game. So I think that it was pretty good for us to make the changes that we did, some in the way we practiced, just doing different things. I think that it's all paid off.
Did Taj earn his starting job back?
I will look at that. It's not like Taj really lost it. It was just his discipline action there. Like I said, not getting into what happened in the past, Taj is a good player for us, and we wanted to see some things out of Corey. But the plan was to let Taj play.
How do you feel about the pass interference challenge now?
Oh, I shouldn't have voted for it. I got to go back and look at that one. I'm real upset because Moncho, he had it, and it was a touchdown off of it, just because I like those guys individually and they worked so hard. He worked very hard this week to make that play, and he made that play. And, but like anything else, there's things to work on.